Hello, and welcome back to your South King County Real Estate Update. Today is January 21st, 2022, and I'm here to deliver that real estate news local to South King County right here live on Facebook. You can see the replays on a variety of platforms after the show's done. I'll go ahead and jump on into the slides. So as I said, today is January 21st, 2022, and let's find out what happened this week. So today I wanted to start off with a quick thank you to anyone who is watching this. I really appreciate it. I've been doing this show nearing 2 years now, and I think the end of April, it'll be 2 years. I really appreciate the support and delivering relevant real estate news to you. If no one was watching, I wouldn't be doing this. So I really appreciate it. Those that have given feedback, there have been a few people that have commented on YouTube or Facebook or wherever that have said various suggestions. And I really want to know that I do take these suggestions seriously. Last week's episode had a comment that was directed at bringing it more local to South King County. As the title suggests, there's a lot of reports that are only available for the state or the whole county. So I will be mentioning certain numbers that are going to be a larger area, but I'm going to try and get as many details about the South King County area as possible. So watch for changes over the next couple weeks. I'm coming up with ideas and implementing them. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to share. So what happened this week? So I have these two clients. They're looking for a second home, a little vacation weekend getaway rental cabin. So they want to use it for themselves sometimes as a little weekend getaway and rent it out on Airbnb when they're not using it. So this is becoming a more common type of purchase. We are just seeing more of this in general. One thing I wanted to point out first off is if you are looking for a property that you're looking to rent out on Airbnb or one of these short-term rental things, make sure to dig and get those current laws, because there are laws going into effect all over the place. Read an article, it was in Oregon, but the same thing's happening in our vacation towns, that certain counties are banning Airbnbs, or neighborhoods. HOAs can do it, counties can do it, cities can do it. So make sure you're checking those local laws for that type of property to ensure that it can be rented out on Airbnb. The fastest and quickest way to do this is to log into Airbnb and search the neighborhood. If something pops up on there, or if a lot of things pop up on there, it's probably okay. So that's my little hack to see if it's okay to go on Airbnb, or if I need to dig a little deeper to see why there's no Airbnbs in that area. But we went out with this couple over the weekend and saw a property. We actually had two scheduled. We had one scheduled for the Wednesday before, but my client had to reschedule for Saturday. And by the time it got to Saturday, that home was pending. The next home, we went and saw it. They were kind of humming and hawing about it. So I said, okay, well, before we part ways, let me call the listing agent and see where we're at, see if we need to get him an answer within an hour. And he was actually in the middle of drafting an email to all those agents that had showed the property saying, we're expecting multiple offers by the end of the day. Please get your offers in as soon as possible. And my clients decided to pass on that home. It wasn't quite what they were hoping for. It was close, but not quite. So we decided to let that one pass and keep looking. And hopefully there's one that popped up that is looking pretty promising. So hopefully we can get that locked down this weekend. But I'll go ahead and jump back on into the slides. But because those vacation rentals are becoming so much more popular, those types of homes are going like instantly. So this article came out on the 19th, 5 takeaways from Seattle's red hot 2021 housing market and the year's priciest sales. So I didn't cover the year's priciest sales in here, but The 5 takeaways from the Seattle or Seattle area's red hot housing market from the past year. Number 1, Seattle lags the suburbs. So King County, the average home price sold was 828,000, up 14.2% from 2020. But if we look at Seattle, they're only up 7.4% from 2020. And if we look further out, Enumclaw, Auburn, other places further south, the median home sold for 650 and up 22.6%. So this really breaks out the King County story of what's happening in Seattle as opposed to what's happening on the outskirts. Condos are a little bit lagging on the price growth, up 6.7% throughout King County. Pierce and Whatcom counties prices tipped past 500. This is the second takeaway. Both counties blew past 500. But if we look at the area, the whole area, you can see there are several counties that tipped that 500,000 price point. So here in King, we started out well above that at 724 and popped up to 828. But Pierce, Chelan County, Whatcom, Skagit, Jefferson, all of these homes throughout the greater region, the average home sale popped above 500,000. So in King County, it's a little bit more intense than that, especially in our south end here. Prices are increasing quickly. So number 3, there aren't enough homes. There are a lot of factors driving this shortage. Buyer demand has increased significantly from before the pandemic, so more houses are desired than before. Construction has been slowed due to supply chain delays and people getting sick and not being able to work and just projects being postponed. There's a lot of sellers that would sell their home if they were a little bit more optimistic about having some place to move to. That is something that we hope to see. There's a lot of construction projects right now that have started. There are more sticks in the ground right now than 2006. So there's just been a lot of delay on getting these projects to completion. So the 4th takeaway, for more buyers, $1 million home is the norm. In 2017, in King County, there was 4,900 homes, mostly on the east side, that sold for 1 million or above. In last year, in 2021, that number hit 10,500. That is up 61% since just 2020. Price growth is just mind-blowing. A lot of these buyers are getting equity from their homes, like they've lived in for a while and they're doing a move up, but a lot of them are newcomers to the area or people in tech that have been in the area and have a significant price raise due to the tech industry just exploding in the greater Seattle area. And the 5th takeaway, 2022 could cool off. This is where I'm going to say, hey, I have a little bit of a difference of opinion. Not that it's going to be quite as intense as 2021, but some brokers say that 2018 could provide a hint. What happened in 2018 could happen again in 2022. But the whole structure of why this has happened has changed. Like the pandemic changed people's value of homes. Yes, I do believe that we'll get some of these supply chain issues figured out, get some more of those homes built, and there won't be quite as much intensity on looking for these new homes, but it's still going to be crazy. So could cool off slightly, but I wouldn't expect an easy go of it this year if you're looking to buy something. That brings us to our market stat minute here. We have 495 new listings in King County, 631 pendings, and 395 sold. Look how much pendings jumped because we had more inventory, so more homes went pending. But if we break it apart into separate South area cities, you can see that the story is extremely different if you look across our area. So in Kent, new listings 24, listings pending 36. So you can see there's a lot more pending than new listings here in Kent. The peach bar goes way further than the green. So in Renton, there's 30 new listings and 33 pendings. So you can see there's a little bit more of a lag on these new listings falling into that pending category. Kent has maybe a little bit more demand based on new listings compared to pendings. Auburn has a green bar, new listings 22, but only 19 pending. So this could be, a place to consider looking. If you're looking for a home in the South End, having too much competition and getting bid out offer after offer after offer, maybe look for where there's fewer pendings compared to the new listings. Auburn might be a place where you might not get bid out as quickly as, say Kent. And Federal Way is looking a lot more like Kent, 16 new listings and 24 pendings. And this, I talked about the King County version of this graph last week. This comes out monthly. This is the Allen Pope chart. The blue line is a measure of the inventory and the red line is a measure of net sales. And this graph is for Auburn, Kent, Renton, and South Seattle. So this is kind of that south of Seattle core. If we zoom into the last 3 years, you can see the inventory in 2019 outpaced the solds. And ever since the beginning of the pandemic, ever since May of 2020, the red line has not dipped below the inventory line. So demand is still off the charts and remains off the charts for the past 2 years. And last week, our weekly average mortgage rate was 3.45. This week, the weekly average is 3.5. So we've been saying this for several months. We expect interest rates to go up throughout the year, barring any surprises. It seems like that is currently happening. And we are now up to 3.5. So even a little higher than last week. And we are kind of back to the point that we were at the very beginning of the pandemic when interest rates started to tick down and hit those record low after record low after record low. But we expect to see interest rates rise throughout the year. However, as of today, it did level off a little bit. It went up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today it kind of ticked down just slightly. So we are at 3.67 for our 30-year weekly average. This is going to be my last little plug on my weekly show for this, but if you would like to see the 2022 housing forecast for your county, just let me know. I have King, Pierce, Snohomish. I can go all over the Pacific Northwest down into Portland and all that. So if you're curious about an area, please reach out and I can deliver this forecast to you. If you would rather watch a video of the predictions, my 2021 recap and 2022 predictions episode is up. That aired at the end of December, but it is relevant. And I love going back at the end of the year and watching this to see how accurate we were. I think that's fun. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from you. And again, feedback is appreciated. I want this show to be super valuable for as many people as possible. So if there's something that you would find valuable, please reach out and let me know, and I'll see what I can do to add it into the show. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be back here next Friday at 3 p.m. to deliver your South King County real estate news. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you then.